Hello everybody, my name's Quentin Lowcay. I'm a corporate partner at the prestigious firm of Minter Ellison Rudd Watts. We're a large international law firm and we don't actually have a presence in the Middle East, but over the last 8 years I've spent a lot of my time up there and I have a lot of clients both from New Zealand and from the Middle East who work in this region. It's a fascinating area and it's one that I'm really keen to promote and to foster New Zealand business to do more in the region. You know, when people often ask me what it's like to do business in the Middle East, it's a complicated answer, but it can boil down to 3 essential features. I think it's about patience, commitment, and presence. Patience is really shown in the way in which Middle Eastern people do business and interact. It's an old and ancient culture which is rich in heritage, rich in customs, and has a great tapestry which sort of flows through a lot of our modern European history. That's often reflected in business, and patience is the kind of thing where when you go into a new market, as many of you will know, it's something that you must bear in mind because results won't happen overnight. As a business person, you'll get invited to respond, to pitch for work. There'll be fantastic opportunities that you hear of. But patience needs to be the watchword. You need to be able to put in tenders, or you need to be able to respond to requests, knowing that you're not going to crack it overnight. It's going to be something that takes time. And taking time is really what doing business in the Middle East is all about, because underpinning what we do is a relationship. Patience and relationships really go hand in hand because you need time to actually trust people. And so the people you're talking to in the Middle East need to feel as though you understand the way they do business, understand that it takes time to build trust and for them to get to know you, and vice versa. Commitment is also underpinned by a relationship. The people you're doing business with, whether it's in government or private sector, want to know that you are actually committed to their region. They care about their home, just as we do in New Zealand. We like people to be interested, we like people to know something about our country, and we like to share stories about how beautiful New Zealand is and the things that we have to offer. It's exactly the same in the Middle East. Don't expect to get business unless you can really demonstrate commitment. That can be shown by continuing to respond to RFPs when they're issued, continuing to find out, continuing to ask questions and to make contacts with people, to continue to grow the relationships which will foster business in time. Commitment is also seen by the last of my 3rd points, presence. Commitment and presence are also linked in some way and of course all tied up with this concept of relationships. You need to be there. To build a relationship with someone, just as in New Zealand, a phone call or an email is never as strong as actually being there on the ground. And of course it's a long way, and of course it costs a lot of money. But if you want to build a relationship, you actually need to show the commitment to go there, the commitment to be there from time to time, to sit down and have the coffee, to actually show patience, to talk about family, to talk about the way the economy is going, the way business is going for them, but really how they're feeling and what their plans are, for example, for holidays or sporting events. Those things are really important. It shows commitment, patience, presence, and it underpins this relationship. There are a lot of great organisations that can help you develop business in the Middle East, and I would urge you to reach out to your networks. The New Zealand Middle East Business Council is a fantastic group of people who are passionate about the Middle East opportunities. We've got excellent government officials, both at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade and New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, both committed to really pushing New Zealand and making sure that our businesses succeed overseas. Make use of their resources. Don't try and do it alone. The Middle East is too hard. I've spent a lot of time there, and slowly, I never had the ability, or I never had the advice early on when I was working in this region many, many years ago. But if I had, and if I was going into the market now, just knowing that there are people to talk to is a tremendous asset. Because with every relationship, you need to show some sort of understanding, and culture is a big factor. This is a very old, as I mentioned, a very old and ancient traditional people that you may be dealing with, particularly in Saudi Arabia, for example, or in Kuwait, or maybe in Iran, Iraq, Oman, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar. You need to understand how the different cultures and different peoples in each of those countries will react to things. You need to understand how to greet people, understand what hand gestures to use, how to actually start an email or start a telephone call with them, what to say when you actually are invited to have coffee, and how to sit down and partake in a conversation. These are all really important things. You can read books, but there's nothing like actually talking to people who have had time on the ground. And so I urge you to reach out to these kinds of networks. Middle East Business Council is a fantastic starting place, but of course our government as well. Anyway, we're always here to help. It's a great opportunity. I would urge everyone to actually do some business in the Middle East. You'll find it much more rewarding than many other markets. It's a personally rewarding place as well as financially. So I just want to close with the three words, which you will remember, of course. They are patience, commitment, and presence, all underpinning relationships. Thanks.